Hello everyone, wishing you all a very good morning. Am I audible and visible to all of you? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Good morning, Abhiram. Am I audible and visible to you? Great. So welcome to the class. And it's a new week. I'll start the class with the same instruction that I always give. Keep your cameras off. Sit at a place where you have good network. I heard that you had your test yesterday, right? How was your test? Tell me about it. Abhiram says good. Abhiram, what was your score? 135. Good. That's a good score. And what about the total score? What was your total? 390. Okay. Out of 540, right? Okay. Not bad. Good. But I think again you are getting less marks in biology, probably. If you're getting 135 in physics and your total is 390, that means you're getting less marks in the other subjects, which is not good. So you must improve on it. What about the others? Do you did you give the test? Vinay, Janvi, Vasant, Tanu, Surya, Siddharth, Vishal? You all gave the test or not? Only Abhiram gave the test. No one gave the test? Remember, test is a very important aspect, and you should give each and every test very seriously. Anyways, as everyone know, I think there are some new people, some new students in the class. For all of them, if you have to send any message, I've logged in by 2 IDs. So you can send a message at Astic, or you can address the message to everyone. In both cases, the message gets delivered to me and I can see it. Chalo, on that note, we'll start today's class. Good morning, Tanu. How was your exam, beta? Good. What was your score, beta? $147. Great. And your overall score? 147 is good. Paper was not easy. Good. Paper was same standard as the paper that you got in NEET this year. I just raised up the standard a bit. Looking at 408. Again, you're not getting much marks in chemistry and biology. I always, I always feel proud when a student gets good marks in physics, because remember, Tanu, I told you, no? See, I told you, I did not make the paper easy. I just made it a bit more tough because I felt that the paper of this year for NEET was tougher. Yes, so I got the level up a bit. Now the level of paper that I gave you was tougher than the paper that appeared in NEET. So I just raised up the level. I'll keep on making these changes here and there, and then I'll tell you which paper I feel was easy and which paper I feel was tough. This was tough. Okay, this was tough, and if you got those many marks, it's great that you are doing good. But again, I'm not very happy, because if you get 147 or 150 in physics, if I multiply it by 3, your score must be around 450. I always feel good that students get good mark in physics, but at least whatever marks you're getting in physics, and I think physics must always be the highest, because my students are always good in physics. If you're getting 150 in physics, no one should stop you from getting at least 150 in chemistry, and definitely 150 in what, that botany, biology. So work on it. Work on it. Your marks in physics are good. Maybe you can get to the range of 150 plus 150 to 160. If you get in that range consistently, if you score that many marks, 150, around 150 to 160 in physics, I can give you in writing that no one can stop your selection. I'll give you in writing on a stamp paper. I'll give you on a writing. But then you have to keep it consistent. As I can see, Abhiram and Tanu are consistently in the 130s and 140s range. Try to get it up. Try to get it up around 150 and keep it there. Keep it at 150. Keep it around 150 consistently. I will guarantee you a selection from my side. Anyways, where was I? Oh, we had to start today's class. So let's start today's class. What was the last thing that we did in yesterday's class? I mean, the last class. Can anyone remind me? What was the last thing that we did? Do you remember what was the last thing we did? No one remembers it? No one was in the class? No, there were a few people in the class. Abhiram was there, Tanu was there, Niharika, she is missing. I don't know where she is. There were some people in the class. What was the last thing we did in the class? Vinay, Janvi, Vashant was there in the class. Then there are roll numbers. I don't recognize roll number. Siddharth, I don't think was in the class. Vishal, I think was in the class. What happened in the last class? Did we do in the last class? No one recollects? Siddharth, raise hand. Siddharth, do you recollect what happened in the last class? No one know. See, if you don't remember what happened in the last class, that means you were not attentive enough. Remember, there is one golden rule of any study plan. One golden rule. Do not forget this rule ever, and keep this rule. Follow this rule from now on. If you don't follow it before any class, see, in between classes you get a break of 5 to 10 minutes. If that break is not enough, before the class begins, for example, your class begins at 10 o'clock, 1 hour before that or half an hour before that, go back. If you have physics, chemistry, maths, physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, go back for 5 to 10 minutes and see what you had done in the previous class. In case of physics or whatever, you have the entire notes in PDF form with you. You have the entire lecture. You will now say that, sir, we don't get the lecture. Okay, you don't have the recorded lecture, but you have all the PDF notes. You are also making notes on your own. I hope so. Please go through those notes of what we had done in the previous class. That will give you a good idea of what is going to happen in today's class, because every time it may not be possible for me to revise the entire last class, because if I keep on revising the entire last class, I will not move ahead in life. So for 10-15 minutes before the class, before the day begins, please go through what we had done in the previous class. If you can't do it in the morning, I hope you are not getting up at 9 o'clock. I hope you are getting up at around 6 o'clock. After your breakfast, you have good 2 to 3 hours. Good 2 to 3 hours that you can study. In that 2 to 3 hours, please go through the previous class that you had studied. Everyone got this? Got this study plan? It's a very simple, basic study plan. It has got no complication. It is simple, simple. 2 3 hours before the class, you get up in the morning and you revise everything that you had done in the previous class. Do we agree on this? Can I have some raised hands from everyone that we agree on this? Irfan, Vasant, Tanu, Surya, Siddharth, raise your hands. Vishal, that we understand this and we are going to follow this. Tanu, where are you? Vishal, Surya. It's a very simple study plan. Every time so many students ask me, sir, make us a schedule. Tell us how much to study. See, you must study whenever you get time. but you must follow some basic principles before coming to the class. You get up at 6 o'clock, no matter what. Simple study plan. Get up at 6 o'clock, no matter what. Sleep at 12 o'clock, no matter what. You can have a rest of 1 or 2 hours in the afternoon if you want to have it. Get up at 6 o'clock, have your breakfast, have your bath, have good breakfast, omelette, anda, whatever you want to eat. Have it. Then from 7 to 9, 7 to 9:30, 10 o'clock your class begins. You've got 3 great hours to study. What do you study in those 3 great hours? You just go through the previous class, nothing else, and just solve questions if they are given in the class. Please follow that routine. Please follow that routine, and I'm sure you will be good. So if I remember correctly, in the last class we had discussed something about dot product. We had discussed dot product, and I'd also given you a sheet on dot product. Dot product is A dot B, two vectors. The dot product becomes AB cos theta, where A and B are the magnitudes of vector A and B, and theta is the angle between them. Do we remember it now? This is what we had discussed in the previous class. Dot product. Yes or no? Yes or no? Do we remember this? Dot product. Okay. Now, I had also discussed one dot product. Work done was the dot product of F dot with displacement. Yes or no? This is work done. Dot product of force with displacement. If I differentiate this work done, I will get power. Instantaneous power, I call it. Instantaneous power, the rate at which work is done. And that becomes derivative of this thing. If I assume that the force is constant, or at any point force is F, it becomes F dot V. So F dot V becomes your power. Don't worry, all these terms, work done or power, will be discussed in great details once we are finished with this chapter. Right now, we only need the definition of these two things. What is work done? Work done is force dot displacement. What is power? Power is force dot with velocity. Now, if you remember correctly, and I hope you do, you don't have a memory like mine that I forget. Remember correctly, we were doing something known as what? What we were doing? What was our topic? What was our topic? Topic was Newton's laws of motion, and what we were discussing is known as string constraints. Now, when we discuss this string constraint, someone told me, and I also told you, that how to find out this string constraint or relation between the two accelerations. We will somehow use tension in the string. Someone told me that, sir, we will use tension in the string. Yes, but then I also told you that how will we use this tension? We will use this tension by a principle known as, what was the principle that I tell you? The principle that I told you was known as virtual work, that we will be using this virtual work principle to find out the string constraints. Yes or no? Do we remember this? I told you this, that we will be using this virtual work principle to find out this string constraints. Now the question is, how are we going to do this? How are we going to use this principle of work done or virtual work to find out the string constraints? So the answer is very simple. Virtual work principle just states that work done by tension of the string, work done by tension of the string is 0. Whenever there is a string, This string may be attached to a number of blocks. This string will do some work on the blocks. The total work, when I say this work, this is the total or the net work, not social network, net work or total work done by the tension of a string is 0. So whatever work it does on one block, if that work is positive, on the other block, that work, same work would be negative. As I told you, work done is a scalar quantity, and since it is a scalar quantity, it can also be positive or negative. So if tension is doing positive work on some block, on some other block, it has to do equal negative work, because virtual work principle states that work done by tension is always 0. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this? Work done by tension of a string is always 0. Now, how are we going to use this principle to find out the constraint relation? That is the question that we have to ask. Now, let me start with a very simple example of how we are going to use this virtual work to find out work to find out the constraint relation. Now, when I say constraint relation, I told you that when two blocks are attached by strings, there is a relation between the displacement of one block and the displacement of the other block, velocity of one block and the velocity of the second block, acceleration of the first block and the acceleration of the second block. This is what we are supposed to find out. How are we going to do this is the question. So let me now draw a very simple diagram. A very simple diagram which illustrates this principle of virtual work. These are two blocks. Block number 1, block number 2. Now, we all know by common sense, sometimes common sense is very good. We all know by common sense that if this block is heavier, it will go down. And if this block is lighter, will it go up? Yes, it goes up. This block goes down, this block goes up. Yes or no? Do we understand this? Can I have reason that you understand this, sir? If block number 2 is heavier and block number 1 is lighter, block number 2 goes down and block number 1 blows up. Everyone understands this? Can I have reasons that we understand this? No one has understood this? Vinay, Janvi, Vasant, Tanu, Surya, Siddharth, Irfan, Vishal, some roll numbers starting with 1 and 3. Have you understood this, beta? Okay. Now, if I just call the displacement of this block as x1 and displacement of this block as x2, that this block number 1 goes up by x1, block number 2 will go down by x2. Now, by common sense, you know that x1 is the distance or the displacement of block 1 and x2, which is the displacement of block 2. By common sense, because they are attached to the same string, by common sense, x1 in magnitude, not direction, x1 in magnitude must be equal to x2 in magnitude. Yes or no? Yes or no? We know this by common sense, right? Now, we know this by common sense, but this thing can also be understood by the principle of virtual work. See carefully how I'm going to apply this principle of virtual work here. And you don't have to do anything new. Remember the steps of solving the problem. Whenever you get a problem in Newton's laws of motion, first step, what is the first step? Draw the sketch. Sketch is already here. Second step, isolate the two bodies. Bodies are already isolated. Step number 3, draw the free body diagram. Now, once you draw the free body diagram, the first thing that I have always drawn, always drawn, is the tension in the string. Yes or no? Please raise your hands and tell me. Yes, sir. Tension in the string is the first thing you have always drawn. There was a reason I did this, because I wanted to use it here so that nothing goes out of the blues. So the first thing is sketch, already here. Second thing, isolate the bodies, already isolated. 3, draw the free body diagram. On this free body diagram, the first thing that we draw is always tension. So let us draw the tensions here. This is T, this is T, this is T, this is T, this is 2T, and this is 2T. So I have drawn the tension. Now, what do I do next in my step? I draw the free body diagram completely. I draw the weight mg and m1g and m2g, and then I write the equation. Now I'll just stop here and just try to find out this constraint relation. Now, how do I find out this constraint relation from this step? Up till here, I've done step number 3. Now, what do? I see which bodies are moving. I'm telling you the shortcut. I'm not telling you the entire story. I'm just telling you the shortcut of how you find the constraint. What are the two blocks which are, see, there can be more than 2 blocks. In this case, there are only 2. What are the 2 blocks which are moving here? There are only 2 blocks which are moving here. One is block number 1 and the other one is block number 2. Yes or no? These are the 2 blocks that are moving here. Yes or no? Please raise your hands and tell me that. Yes, sir. These are the only 2 blocks that are moving here. Okay. I have to find the relation between x1 and x2. You will tell me, sir, we know the relation between x1 and x2, but I'm trying to prove my virtual work principle. I have to find the relation between x1 and x2. How will I do it? I'll do it by the principle of virtual work. What does virtual work say? Work done by tension of string is 0. Now I will write what it meant in words. That means summation means total work. Work done by tension will be 0. Or addition of Ti, Xi will be 0. What do you mean by Ti, Xi? Ti means tension in the block. Xi means displacement of the block. I stand for number. So T1 multiplied by X1. If I put I as 1. If I put I as 2, it becomes T2 multiplied by X2. If I put I as 3, it becomes T3 multiplied by X3. Do we understand this? Can I raise hand that we understand this? Summation of Ti, Xi is 0. Now look at this tension is acting in upward direction, and this block is also moving upwards. What will be the work done by tension T on block number 1? T is upward and X1 is also upwards. They are in the same direction. Remember, work done is F dot delta R. Force is tension here and displacement is X1, and both are in the same direction. So the angle between them is 0. Remember, I told you when angle is 0, what is the dot product? So what will be the work done by tension on the green one? The green tension on block 1. What will be the work done by this? Work done by this will be T multiplied by X1 with a positive sign. Yes or no? Do we understand this? This is the work done by tension on this block. Can I have raised hand that we understand this, please? Only one person has understood this. What about the others? Vinay, Janvi, Vasant, Tanu, Siddharth, Vishal. Okay. Now let us look at the blue one. Tension T is upwards, but x2, the displacement is downwards. That means here the angle between T and x2 is 180 degrees. Cos of 180 degrees is -1. So work done by this tension becomes minus Tx2. Work done by this tension becomes, oops, wrong arrow. Work done by this tension becomes minus Tx2. And now I have to apply this concept that work done by all tensions is zero. There are only two blocks that are moving here. So this becomes zero. So this is how I apply virtual work principle on this block. Now this T is not zero because tension is not zero. From here, I can get x1 is equal to x2. That means whatever this block moves upwards, this block has to move downwards. If I differentiate this once, I will get V1 is equal to V2. If I differentiate it once more, I will get A1 is equal to A2. Do we understand this? So I got the relation between x1, x2, v1, v2, and a1, a2. I don't need x1, x2. I don't need v1, v2. I need a1 is equal to a2. Now I can write what I can write. Now I can write if this block, if I say a1 is equal to a2 is equal to a, if this block moves up with an acceleration a, this block will move down with the same acceleration a. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this, sir? Since both the acceleration are coming same, I can call it at a. I can call it as a. If this block moves up with an acceleration a, this block has to move down with the same acceleration a, but in the downward direction. This is how I apply virtual work principle to find out the relation between x1 and x2. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this, sir? Shall I repeat it? Step number 1, draw a sketch. Sketch is there. Step number 2, isolate the bodies. Bodies are isolated. Step number 3, draw the free body diagram. What do you do in free body diagram? You draw the tensions. I have drawn the tension on all the blocks, all the pulleys. Then I applied the virtual work principle, which states that work done by tension is 0. I find out the work done on block number 1, T into x1, it is positive, same direction. I found out the work on block number 2, T into x2, but it is minus. Why it is minus? Because angle is 180 degrees, so it is minus T into x2. T into x1 is positive. T into x2 is negative. So tx1 minus tx2 is equal to 0. From this equation, I get x1 is x2, v1 is v2, a1 is a2. All are equal. I call a1 or a2 as a. X1, no, block 1 moves with an acceleration a. Block 2 move down with the same acceleration a. Do we understand this? Now can I have reason that we understand this, sir? Vinay, Prashant, Janvi, Tanu, Siddharth, Vishal, Shashank. Do we understand this, beta? Great. This is as simple as it gets. This is how you find out the work. No. This is how you use the virtual work principle to find the relation between two displacements. Now I will give you a question. Please try it and see if you can use the information that I have given and find out the relation between the two displacements. So I am now going to draw simple sa diagram. This is block 1. This is block 2. I have told you that this block moves down with x2, v2, and a2. This block has to move up with x1, v1, or a1. You have to tell me the relation between x1, x2, v1, v2, or a1 and a2. Your time starts now. You will get 2 minutes. Take a deep breath. Apply what I have told you. I'll give you 2 minutes. Solve this question and come back. So, anyone got the answer for this one? Tell me, who got the answer? Tanu, you got the answer? Abhiram? Vishal? Akshara? Anyone got the answer for this one? Okay, let us do this together. Can any one of you unmute yourself? Who can unmute yourself? Tell me. Who can unmute? Raise your hand. We'll do it together. Who can unmute and who will help me in solving this question together? Who can unmute and help me in solving this question? I'm waiting. We'll solve this question together. No one can unmute? Abhiram? Shashank? Akshara? Vasant? Janvi? Okay. Okay, Abhiram, your mic is not a problem. Chalo, I'll do it on your behalf. We'll do it step by step. First step. What is the first step? Okay, you can't unmute yourself, but you can write the steps. What is the first step? Yes. First step is draw the sketch. Sketch is here. What is step number 2? Anyone? Yes. Step number 2 is isolate the bodies. Bodies are far away from each other. They are isolated. Step number 2 done. We come to the most important step now. Step number 3. What is step number 3? Draw the free body diagram. Well done. How do I draw the free body diagram? I start with tension. Let me call the tension as T. T. Remember same string T, 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 and T. One string done. This string 2T, 2T. This string done. Then this string 2T, 2T. Now I am stopping here. Stopping here. I'm not drawing the entire free body diagram. I'm stopping here. And now I will try to find out the relation between x1, x2, v1, v2, a1, a2. I'll still give you one more minute. One more minute. Can you tell me the relation between x1, x2, v1, v2, a1, a2? One more minute. A minute, 2 minutes. Let's see who gets me the answer. Minute to minute. There was a reality show when I was younger. Minute to minute. They used to play games in 1 minute. You can play that game. You win it. People have become millionaires playing that game. There was no YouTube at that time. Otherwise, this would have been a trend on YouTube. It was YouTube at that time, but it was not very popular. Anyone? No one? Try. Okay. All of you who are trying, please raise your hands. See, if you can do it once with your own hands, and if you do it for the first time, if you do it in the first question, you will never forget it. That is why I'm giving you time. Otherwise, I could have done it. I could have done 4 more questions after this. I'm giving you time because I want you to do it on your own. How many of you are trying? Can you just raise hand and tell me, sir, we are trying at least? Trial is important. Result is not. I always tell you. Answers are not important to me. Least concerned about answers. You may get absolutely wrong answer. No problem. You have tried. That is important. No one is trying. Apart from Abhiram, Janvi, Vasant. Janvi, I think, is new in the class, so she might not be feeling comfortable. Janvi, you please have a look at the lecture that we have done before. Tanu, Siddharth, Saiteja, Vishal, Akshara, are you trying to get the answers for this one? Siddharth is trying. Well done, Siddharth. What about Vishal, Akshara? Sai Teja, Tanu, where are you, beta? Vasant is not talking. I don't know what. Okay, chalo. Everyone is trying. That's great. Let me now do my part. What I have to apply here? Work done by all tension is 0. I'm just writing so that it becomes a part of our life. That means work done by the summation of Ti into Xi is 0. How many blocks you see that are moving? There are only 2 blocks that are moving. Let us start with the blocks. The green block. Block number 1, which is supposedly moving upwards. T is up. T is up. And X1 or V1 or A1. Let us start with X1. T is up and X1 is also up. What is the equation of work done for this block? Anyone? Yes, it is very simple. It is T multiplied by X1. Congratulations. T multiplied by X1 with a positive sign because both are in the same direction. Cos theta is 0. Theta is 0. Cos 0 is 1. So it becomes T into X1. This is how I get the green equation. The green equation, T into X1. Do we understand this now? Please raise your hands. No one understands it? I'll again repeat it. T is up. X1 is up. Work done is T multiplied by X1. Angle is 0. Cos 0 is 1. T dot X1 becomes T into X1. Great. Well done. What about the next one? Block number 2. Blue block. Let me color it as blue. Blue block. 2T. T. It is not T, it is 2T. 2T is upwards. But X2 is downwards. 2T is upwards. X2 is downwards. 1 is upwards, 1 is downwards. So minus cos of 180 is minus 1. So minus 2T into X2 is equal to 0. That is my equation for the blue block and the green block. This is the wrong color. This is the constraint relation that I was looking for. Tension cannot be 0, so I cut down tension. What do I have? What do I have? X1 is 2x2. Relation between x1 and x2. I differentiate it. V1 is 2 times V2. I differentiate it once more. A1 is 2 times A2. This is the constraint relation. A1 is 2 times A2. Now, just be careful in calling it. If I call A2 as A, if I call A2 as A, A1 becomes 2 times A. Don't make the mistake of calling A1 as A and A2 as 2 times A. Students do this mistake. Now I can write very clearly that if this goes down with an acceleration A, if this goes down, block number 2, if it goes down with an acceleration A, block number 1 comes up with an acceleration 2A. Do we understand this? If block number 2 comes down with an acceleration A, block number 1 will go up with an acceleration 2A. Everybody understands this? Can I have raised hands that we understand this? This is the simplest possible way of finding out the constraint relation. You will not find a simpler way anywhere else in the universe. Please pay attention to it. And I hope you have understood this. I have followed the same step. Step number 1, sketch. Step number 2, isolate the body. Step number 3, draw the free body diagrams. I've only drawn the tension on the box. Then I have used virtual work principle. Work done by tension is 0. Tixi is 0. T1x1 plus T2x2 plus T3x3 and so on is 0. I put the value of T1 as T, T2 as 2 times T or whatever. And I get the relation between x1, x2, v1, v2, a1, a2. Can you now do one question on your own? Can I expect that you can do one question on your own, bacha? Who is feeling confident that he can do this question? Abhiram, well done, beta. I'm very impressed by how you are performing. Good. This is what we need. I don't need superheroes. Superheroes, there's nothing to save in this universe that I need superheroes. I don't need the Marvel or the MCU universe. MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't need that. I don't need you to be Captain America and Captain Marvel. Just need you to do what is required and become CEO superhero in your own right. Become superhero for your families. Fulfill their aspirations. They are putting a lot of money, a lot of energy into getting you up till here. You have an obligation to at least try. All of you might not be able to get into an IIT, no problem. All of you might not be able to get into an IIT, no problem. But at least you have tried and you have achieved the best out of the possible things that you had. If you have done that, you are a superwoman. You are a Superman. You are a hero. You are Captain America or you are Spider-Man, which is my favorite. Next question. What should I do here? Okay, I'll make it this way. I have to think of the question and make this question this way. So this is one block. And this is the other block. Block number 2, block number 1. Now, the only way the motion is possible is this block goes here and this block goes here. Yes or no? There's only one thing that is possible here. This block goes here and this block comes up. If this block goes down with x2 and this block moves forward with it cannot be x2, it has to be x1. X1, you have to tell me the relation between x1 and x2, v1 and v2, a1 and a2, everything. Your time starts now. Try is important in life. Try and achieve what you want to is important. The result is not, because the result is not in your hands. Do your karma and the Almighty is there. He'll give you the result that you should get. Sometimes the result may not be of your liking, but you will see in larger scheme of things, that was the best possible result for you at that point in time. And you will understand that as you grow older. 2 minutes you have to solve this one. Who all are trying? Let me have a look at how many of you are trying. Aviram should be trying. He always does. And that is what I like about him. Janvi, no response. Vasant, Tanu, Siddharth, Sai. Yes, people are coming up. That's great. Akshara, Vishal, Good. There's a very famous poem by Sir Rabindranath Tagore. He actually gave up that salutation of Sir as a symbol for his protests against the British rule of India. He gave up that Sir salutation. Sir Rabindranath Tagore is a very famous poem, Ekla Chalo Re, in Bengali. I've spent a good part of my life in Bengal, West Bengal, Kolkata to be very precise. Ekla Chalo Re. If no one is there, you start alone. You start alone. And if you're good, people will follow you. Anyone got the answer? That's what I'm looking at. One more minute. Let me start. Step number 1. Draw the sketch. Sketch is there. Number 2. Isolate the bodies. They are too far away from each other. Isolated. Step number 3. The most important step. Draw the free body diagram. How do I start with the free body diagram? I start with tension. And I start marking tensions here. T, 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 and T. 2T. Why it is 2T? Because this is T and T. All of you know this. This is 2. Done. My tension is done. I take a rest here. And now I apply the virtual work principle. What does virtual work principle say? Summation of Ti into Xi is 0. That is what virtual work principle states. I'm going to do the same. The green block. Block number 1, the green one. I color it. I like coloring. Block number 1, the green one. T, as you can see, is forward. Up till now, it was up or down. Here it is forward. Doesn't matter. There are 2 constraints here. One is the string constraint. One is the block. No, one is the plane constraint. It is kept on a plane. Remember, x1 is aage. T is aage. X1 is aage. It's very simple. It is T into x1. That is my green equation. T into x1. So far, so good. The blue block comes in now. Block number 2. Block number 2. Blue block. 2T is upwards. Every one of us can see this. But x2 is taken as downwards. 2T is upwards. X2 is downwards. Upward, downward. So negative sign minus 2T into x2 is equal to 0. This is my blue equation. And that is the equation that I aspired for. I got this. T cannot be 0. T goes away. I have my answers. X1 is 2x2. I differentiated once. V1 is 2v2. I differentiated once more. A1 is 2a2. Now you must be careful. Now you must be careful. If I call A2 as A, this becomes 2A. Now I just write, this goes down with an acceleration A. This will come here with an acceleration 2A. Do we understand this? Can I have raised hand that we understand this? This is what I was aspiring for. This is what I have got at the end of the day. Relation between x1 and x2, v1 and v2, a1 and a2. Can I have some raised hand that we understand this, sir? Can I give you one question for homework that you will try? Okay, so here comes your homework question. You can see nothing much has changed. I'm just trying to make it look more enterprising. It looks more enterprising now. Oops. This is block 1. This is block 2. Block 2 is moving down. Obviously, this is the only thing possible with x2. Block 1 moves forward. X1. You have to tell me the relation between x1, x2, v1, v2, and a1, a2. That is what we finish our class with. We have studied string constraint. We'll devote one more class for this. Try to find out the string constraints. Basically, what we are doing in string constraint is trying to find out the relation between x1, x2, v1, v2, and a1, a2. How did we do this? How did we do this? We did this with the simple principle of virtual work. What does the principle of virtual work state? Everyone, what does the principle of virtual work state? It says that the net work done by the tension of the string is 0. Summation of work done by tension is 0. Summation of TIXI is 0. T1x1 plus T2x2 and so on is 0. Apply this, get the relation between x1, x2, differentiate this, v1, v2, differentiate that, a1, a2, and we get the constraint relation, and that will give us one extra equation, and that will be the missing part in the puzzle. With that, I end today's class. I hope you enjoyed it. Please watch it again if you have not. You will not see this class anywhere else. Please watch it. If you have any doubts, please ask me. I'm always there on the Telegram group. Take care. Have a nice day. Tata. Bye bye.